When do you think is the right time to start planning for a stable retirement? In your 60s? In your 50s? Or in your 40s? Maybe even earlier. Today, we're going to talk to some members of the public to answer these questions. Let's go.
I think 60,
Probably 60?
As early as possible.
probably 3 to 4,000 monthly.
10,000 is no longer enough. So 15, I would say.
I would assume probably 3 to 4,000 maybe.
I do not think so, no.
To be honest, no, because of the rising inflation costs, and who knows what else could happen to me, right?
Might not up to age 80.
Property investment,
Some Bitcoin.
foreign exchange and stuff. ASB and Wahid only.
Funds and then trust as well as a saving.
Don't have to worry from a financial standpoint. I would say that would be the first thing.
For me, retirement means like not having to worry about money.
Have savings left over to go, travels.
Lower risk but medium investment, I would say.
Safer. Definitely safer.
Of course, safer. I don't want to put any risk.
Depend how many percent the return are, then we will consider about diversify the fund.
Probably less than 500 per month.
There will be more flexibility for me to withdraw.
What can we do to ensure we can live comfortably after we retire?
Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Principal Kopi Chat. My name is Farah and my buddy here,
John, hello.
Yeah, and tonight we have a special guest, Shirley.
Hello, everyone.
Are you glad to be here, Shirley?
Of course.
Thank
So
you.
happy to have me.
Thank you so much for
Thanks
being
for coming on board. So, shall I mention the topic that we are about to discuss
here.
tonight?
Yes, we have a very special topic for tonight, and for you out there, it's a very special topic, right, on retirement. So if you know that your friends, your families will be interested, please PM them, tag them and get them to join us.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John.
So, tonight we will be discussing whether 1 million ringgit is really enough for retirement, right?
Is enough really enough?
Let's find out.
Ooh.
Yes, let's find out. So, before we begin, the hot questions to you, right, Shirley? So, based on my research, right, recent findings actually show 6.62 million members aged under 55 have less than 10,000 ringgit in their EPF fund, right? So, with longer life expectancy, inflation, and rising cost of living, right, I guess in this session we really want to debunk, right, whether 1 million is enough for retirement, right? Correct? So, before I begin, since it's a Kopi Chat session, right? So let's talk about coffee, right? So, an average price for a cup of coffee, how many percent do you think that it has increased over the course of 10 years?
10 years.
Yeah.
I would say maybe about 50%. So let's take Starbucks for example. I used to remember being able to buy a cup of coffee, at about 10 ringgit. Today, it would take about 15 ringgit. So that would be, about 50% increase.
That's true.
Yeah.
But if you never factor in the special edition coffee, right?
That's for Farah. I go Americano.
Oh, have you tried the Christmas special?
I'm actually craving a pumpkin spice latte. But okay, so let's say you mentioned 50, right? But let's go with the range, 50 to 60, around 50 to 60%, right, over the course of 10 years. So looking at that, right, not only coffee, right, we are talking about cost of living expenses, on the rise, because due to inflation, right? So the next question, right, is what is a comfortable amount a person should have before they retire? So again, going back to the topic of discussion, 1 million, is it enough?
John, you're asking me $1 million question.
Yeah, $1 million question to you?
Yeah, it's $1 million and $1 million question. Yeah. Well, I would say that, it actually differs from person to person. Right? It depends on your lifestyle, depends on your, what age do you want to retire, what is your expectation like, and really, I guess it's also the definitions of comfortable, right? Because you talk about comfortable living.
Yeah.
So maybe, I'll throw that question back to both of you. What do you think, is comfortable retirement?
So I go first, right?
First,
so
comfortable
retirement. So if you ask me that question, right, comfortable retirement means that I'm able to afford whatever expenses that I am spending today, right? Or maybe able to basically afford the lifestyle that I desire when I retire, lah. Whether it's being like free of debts, and also looking at emergency expenses, right? Having enough for me, then I can talk about comfortable retirement, and that's to me it's that lah. So what about you, Farah?
So maybe before Farah goes, right? Wait. We've settled with John first, huh?
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe, John, you can also share with us, right? Since you know what kind of comfortable retirement you want, how much do you think you need?
Okay, so I've thought about it. So I actually have a very quick way to kind of work backwards on how much I actually need for retirement. So let's look at, let's say if I have 20 years till I retire, right? And my goal is, I think 2 million, right? Let's say 2 million is comfortable now for me to retire. I don't know whether that's enough. But then working backwards, like obviously 2 million divided by 20, that's how much I would actually have in a year to spend, right? But then if I divide it by my monthly expenses, right, I don't think it might be enough. I'm not sure, because of, I don't know, unexpected things like medical expenses. I don't know, something happened to my house, for example. Those are unexpected expenses, right? So again, that's a question that we're about to discuss, right?
So tak cukup lah.
I don't think so lah.
But he's working on a backwards, so he already make an assumption that he's going to need 2 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now for you, Farah, maybe your turn. Maybe share with us what is comfortable retirement to you? Because I know your lifestyle is very different from John. Yeah. And then how much do you think you need?
I don't know. Maybe after, well, by then my kids, they're working. Yeah, most probably they're all working. Can I rely on their money?
You can get allowance.
I think so.
Monthly allowance.
You've got 3 kids, so it's 3 times the allowance.
Yeah, so I don't know, probably like 10K a month, so that I can have coffee with both of you during our retirement days.
She's buying.
If I don't have enough money for retirement, I'll call you up and say, Farah, can you buy me lunch?
She's buying coffee.
No, I'm just buying coffee, yes. Enough not, Shirley.
It really depends. Like I say, it really depends on your lifestyle. But if you talk about 1 million, right? If you work out mathematically, statistics show that Malaysians, life expectancy is actually about 80 years old. If you retire at 60, that means you will need, retirement fund to cover you for 20 years. So work it out, 1 million divided by 20 years, divided by 12 months, divided by 30 days, you only get about 138 ringgit per day. That's to cover everything. Yeah. So it goes back, If Farah is going to spend everything on coffee, she's buying us coffee, definitely it's not enough. 138.
Yeah, that's true. Not enough
So,
for Farah.
So it really depends.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no real answer to that. It depends also where it is.
Okay.
But I think recently I read an article, some time back in, I think, Star or Malay Mail, where EPF mentions that, you do need about 1 million on a bare minimum.
Okay.
To be able to retire for average Malaysians.
But that million, right, is basically if you're living in a city lah.
Correct.
What about other states?
I recall in the article they mentioned about, I think, Alor-Star or Sungai Petani, then, you will need about 600,000. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Right.
again, if you do the mathematics, and you work backward, then you've got to ask yourself whether it's enough for you, because everybody's lifestyle is different. Like, Farah has 3 kids, so she can have income from 3 children, not me.
minus
Yeah.
the shopping and everything. So that's a different story, lah, you know.
That one we will speak about it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So
maybe we move lah.
what
to-
move where?
To the north.
To the north.
Can very good, comfortable retirement lifestyle in Penang, where I'm from.
No, you got to go. Penang is quite expensive. You still have
It
to go.
is very
Alah.
expensive.
Yeah, we got to go
Right.
further up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Okay, so Shirley, most people they are solely relying on EPF savings. Do you think that's enough? Can they do that?
Indeed, you know, for a lot of Malaysians, EPF remains their sole retirement income. Yeah, because EPF, as you know, is mandatory. So long as you start working, you will start contributing. So a lot of people will have the mentality that, you know, I have my EPF, you know, and it's enough to cover my retirement. But the truth is, you know, it's not.
Okay.
It's not. So if you have been, you know, following a lot of the, you know, newspaper articles, you know, and statistics, you know, released by both EPF and the Department of Statistics, you realize that, you know, the bare minimum that they're talking about, the 600,000, only 4% of the EPF contributors actually, you know, have this amount. Yeah, which
That's
means,
very
right?
little, right?
Correct. And if I recall correctly the statistics, right, more than 50% of the people at the age of 54, right, doesn't have more than 50,000. That's to last you for 20 years, you know. So it's
scary,
sad, you know,
you
it's
know?
scary.
It is scary.
Yeah,
it's
but
quite
the
scary.
reality is like that.
Yeah,
Huh?
Right.
especially when you think about medical at that age.
And inflation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inflation, yeah, it's a big thing. I think it's the most discussed, topic right now, right? And I think, you know, moving on to next year as well, inflation will still be the key topic, right?
Yep.
And how we handle that. So yeah, I think it is quite scary. I mean, to me, just thinking about it, I also feel scared as well, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a very nervous question too.
Yeah.
Nervous topic for tonight. All right, let's take a short break. And when we come back, let's find out if it's ever late for anyone to begin investing.
Yeah.
Yeah?
We'll see you back.
We'll be right
soon.
back.
As I celebrated my birthday a few days ago, I realized how much closer I'm actually getting to retirement. That's when reality hits. Would I be able to sustain my lifestyle? How long will my EPF savings even last? I did some digging, found out that around half of Malaysia's retirees exhaust their EPF savings within 5 years. I gotta say, retirement sounded scary. When I asked my mom for advice, she simply said, "Your greatest asset is time. Start investing early." That's when I discovered Principal EPF I Invest. I learned that I could actually invest part of my EPF savings in approved unit trust funds to potentially increase my retirement savings. And with 0% sales fees, I get to invest more too. Super easy. So, I may not know what my future entails, but I do know that retirement is starting to sound a whole lot better. Find out more at www.principal.com.my.
So, and we are back. So thank you everyone for sticking around. To all the new viewers that just joined, please give us a thumbs up, comment any questions that you have in the comment box down below, and also share this video with your friends. So today we have Shirley here, and we are discussing, is 1 million really enough for retirement, right? So Shirley, back to the topic, right? So I've been speaking to my friends and family, you know, ever since starting working Principal, right? So I actually, you know, want to know their opinion about, you know, investing in general. So I actually talked to them, and to my surprise, right, actually 50 of them have not even started investing. You know, that, I mean, in a way, it's quite scary, you know, and at middle age already, you know. So this leads me to my next question, right? Is it ever too late for someone to begin investing?
It's never too late. Yeah. So like the saying goes, yeah, it's better late than never. So it's always good to have something, you know, and regardless of which point you are at your life, you know, if you have not started savings for your retirement, you should. It's never too late. Yeah. But the only thing is, of course, you know, you should start retirement savings as early as you can, because we all know with the advantage of time, you know, you get the benefit of compounding returns. Yeah?
Right.
Yes, Farah?
Compounding interest.
Yes,
maybe
compounding return.
Maybe you might want to, explain a little bit about what is compounding interest.
Basically, if you talk about compounding return or compounding interest, is really return on return, which means, right, you invest whatever return that you get, and you add it on back to your capital, and then you reinvest it again. So the amount that you always invested, right, is always bigger, right? We also call this the snowball effect. So you just visualize, you have a snowball on the snow ground, and you just keep rolling it. That snowball will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's how your investment grows as well. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So like sikit-sikit.
Yeah, sikit-sikit lama jadi bukit. Yes, that's right.
So going back to that question, right? So I asked you whether it's ever too late for someone to begin investing, and I think you mentioned that it's never too late, right? But I just can't help but to, wonder, right? Because for a person, let's say in their 30s, if they haven't started investing, right, there's always that scare, because when you're 30 years old, you actually start to think a little bit more about retirement versus when you're 20, right? So again, my question, right? Not really a question, but we tend to have, 30 years old, you start thinking about retirement, but then you realize that you haven't even started yet. And then you calculate the number of years that you have. So again, that is like a scare factor for you as well, right? So in a way, what you do is like typical, just based on emotions, right? You actually lock it up and place it aside, correct? That's what people tend to do because they don't want to deal with reality, right? But then 10 years after that, when you're 40 and you are really reaching retirement, then you panic. So I just want to ask, your opinion lah. When you're in that kind of position, right, what would be your advice, or how would you counter that fear?
Well, there's really no real answers to that, But it's just that, the only thing is to equip yourself with the education, and if you can afford it, right, at that point in time in your middle age, because your income should be higher compared to when you're younger, is to compensate back the gap by investing more, so that you can actually meet, your final goals, or get nearer to it. So, it's always duration or amount. Right, so if you're late already in the game, but you should still continue to start, and by putting a bigger amount.
Right.
If you start younger, typically, the amount that you need to be investing, right, is actually much smaller.
Right.
Yeah.
So then again, if you need to start putting more, then you have to make sacrifices lah. So Farah, you cannot go shopping already, you have to make sacrifices and think about retirement.
Now, I was just wondering, right, when you mentioned that when you're younger, you can take more risk, right?
Correct.
Like, does these youngsters, take this risk?
Some of the statistics that we have seen and some of our investors as well, right, they are actually not investing, right, not taking enough risks in their, fund selection for us, right?
I see.
So I think that has to do with, maybe financial literacy, knowledge as well. Because most of these young people, they just come into work, they probably is their first encounter in terms of, investments. They may heard a lot of things about losing money, or not knowing how does investment works and things like that. So it takes them a while, right, before they know what to do. So we do see that, some of these youngsters are actually investing into products that are lower risk, that from a Finance 101 perspective, right, when you're young and far away from your retirement goals, you should be taking more risk, because this is a time where you should focusing on growing. Your intention, in terms of your investment should be on growth, and you have the benefit of time. What it means is that, even if you lose money today because of markets, you're right, but because you have enough time, a long period to go, you are able to recuperate back your cost, your loss, and also make growth from that. So typically, younger investors should look into taking more risks.
Okay. I like when you said about financial literacy, financial education, because, frankly, I started late. Because I'm scared. I just want to be safe, with whatever I have, right? just to share with the audience, on our principal.com.my website, we actually have a section called Knowledge and Insights, where you can look for articles on retirement, investing, and yeah, if you need any assistance, you can always reach out to us. Yeah.
So, again, just to emphasize, financial knowledge, literacy, education pieces are all out there, but I think the key message is how individuals consume this information, right?
Yeah.
I think that's very important.
Indeed, in the internet, you can actually find a lot of information.
Yeah, a lot of YouTube videos as well.
Like Farah mentioned, even on our website, right, we have a lot of information. It's just a matter of, whether the investors are able to comprehend it.
Right. Okay. So, my final question to you. So, what is your advice or a thing that a person should do, right, if he or she would like to boost their retirement savings?
Advice. I will say, maybe three things that they can do.
Okay.
Firstly, to me, right, the most important thing when it comes to retirement savings is doing regular savings.
Okay.
Yeah. Retirement investments is very different from other investments, because retirement is the only one that is very, very long in nature. So typically, our retirement journey starts from the day we start working, and that could be 20 years old, around there, 18, 20 years old. And your journey doesn't end when you retire, but into your retirement until your end of life.
Yep.
So, easily you're talking about a period of 30, 40, or even 50 years kind of, period.
Yeah.
Such a long investment period, right? You will not be able to market time all the time.
Yeah.
And even as an investor, even if I don't market time, in investment, we always need to do monitoring of investments, rebalancings, whether we have those discipline in place to continuously do that across the entire period. So for most of us, we won't be able to, and therefore we need to do regular savings so that, we save regularly and, we take advantage of what we call dollar cost averaging. Right? Maybe that means you don't market time you don't buy at a certain time, but you average out your cost of investments. Yeah. So that is, to me, the most important thing in retirement investments, right? Regular savings. Secondly, I think I mentioned about this a little bit just now, it's about the risk bit. You need to de-risk. So typically, the objective or the intention of investments for investors, right, across your age, needs to be adjusted accordingly. So like we mentioned about young investors, when you're younger and you're far away from your retirement, you typically need to take more risks so that you can accumulate and grow, right?
Yeah.
But as you grow older and older, your portfolio cannot stay the same. Your objective cannot stay the same, right? As you get nearer and nearer, maybe to at retirement or even near retirement, your objective should somehow switch and swap a little bit, right? So it becomes more towards preservations. Yeah, because you want to preserve whatever you have built already.
Right.
Imagine saving for 30 over years, right? You want to build, you want to make sure that it's preserved at the end. So from a risk perspective, that needs to be tapered down, and therefore the choice of investments to investors also needs to be considered accordingly. Thirdly will be I think not relying just on EPF. I think we mentioned about this earlier as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
For many of the Malaysians out there, right, EPF is your only, maybe their only source of retirement income. And we know, statistics show it's not enough. So there's no shortcut, you just need to invest more. So it's either, you invest more into EPF or you create more tabongs lah. If EPF is one tabong, then you have a second one, a third one, and hopefully, right, you will have more. So you can choose into investing other things like unit trust, PRS is a voluntary one, right, on retirement, and then things like even savings, So hopefully with that additional pool, you will be able to boost it. Yeah.
Right. So, is 1 million really enough for retirement? I guess the audience or the viewers need to be the judge, and you need to calculate, right? As what Shirley mentioned, calculate number of years you have left for retirement and what kind of lifestyle you intend to have post-retirement. And also, as I hear you, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, diversifying.
Diversifying.
Basically, everyone has to sleep on it tonight and
And
calculating.
think, 1 million enough for retirement or not? I don't think so.
1 million, 1 million.
I mean, you got to do the maths yourself, right?
Yeah,
It's your own
yeah,
lifestyle.
yeah,
What do you want?
exactly.
Yeah.
That's true. So, thanks Shirley for being on our Kopi Chat. So I just want
Thanks for
to
having me.
check with everyone. Sorry, I want to share that if you are interested in our principal products, you can actually check our website. We have in the mega menu, you can actually click on goal-based solutions, and there we cover investment through PRS, through agents, and also through our digital portal as well. So before we end off the session today, again, if you invest with PRS, you can actually get a tax benefit of 3,000 ringgit, deduction of 3,000 until 2025. And there's 2 campaign promotions that we want to highlight. So one is the PRS campaign, the year-end campaign, which you need to invest 3K, and you will get 30 ringgit e-wallet credit, and you can invest through PPA, CIMB, agents, or principal. And another campaign is basically our year-end getaway, where you can actually win a holiday treat from principal if you invest online through our digital portal. So that both campaigns expire on 31st December 2022. T&C apply.
Okay, John, we actually have one question from the audience.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Right.
Okay, questions from Somesh. What is the best retirement strategy? Any tips for those who are starting late, those in their 40s?
I think we mentioned this a little bit, you know. Typically, you know, there's no shortcut to it, you know, because you have started late, so you need to put in more, you know. So put a higher proportion from your income, you know, just like how you do it for your EPF, right? You always have a fixed deduction from it. You know, instead of just doing the bare minimum, you know, on just EPF, put an additional, you know, amount on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need to cover back the gap, right? So that at the end of the day, you can have enough.
Right.
Right? Yeah. And like I say, you know, you can also have other choice of investments so that you can supplement your EPF. Yeah. So you can have different tabongs and different choice of investments to grow with. I think that will be the 2 things, you know, to take note of.
Yeah.
So Somesh, you got your answer. Any other questions from the audience? We can do one more question. Okay, I can read this question out. So, how from Wong KP, right? So how we know that we get the e-wallet if invest PRS for 3K?
Oh, for this, I think you know, the e-wallet credits will be sent out through emails and SMS, so they should be receiving it. So make sure that, you know, your profile, your contact information, whether it is your emails, you know, or your mobile number is actually accurate, so that we can reach out to you. Yeah.
Okay.
So this will only be given, I think, after the campaign period. So I think you mentioned until 31st December, right? So you can expect to only receive it next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we come to the end of the session. But if you have any more questions, please do post it in the comment section below.
Yes.
Message us. We will address the retirement questions to Shirley, which is our retirement expert. And Farah, do you have any last words, or Shirley, before we close off?
It's enough, really.
No more $1 million question.
No more $1 million question.
No, I just want to say it's enough, really enough. You know?
Think about it.
Yeah, think about it. So, all right, so don't forget to follow us on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, you know, for your source of information on investment. Thank you so much for staying with us. See you next session.
Yes. Thanks, Shirley, for joining.
Thanks, Shirley.
Bye-bye.
We asked Malaysians, do you think you will have enough savings for a comfortable retirement?
Honestly, I don't think it's enough, but we will try to use as safe as possible lah. But of course, we need to put some other investment as well.
Yes, the retirement plan for our family is pretty good.
Yes or no depends, because now the inflation is keep on increasing, so maybe it could be sufficient.
I don't think so, because the cost of living is increasing right now.
I think EPF cannot support that amount for now.
Currently, I think it's not enough.
we discovered that majority of Malaysians are uncertain if they will have enough for their retirement. At Principal Malaysia, we aim to foster a world where financial security is accessible by all Malaysians. We are part of the Principal Financial Group, a global investment and retirement leader with more than 142 years of expertise and experience in helping over 51 million customers plan, protect, and invest for their futures. So, no matter which stage you are in life, we are here to help you plan and prepare for a potentially comfortable retirement ahead. Our private retirement scheme, PRS, end-to-end retirement solution is catered with the intention to offer you a comprehensive financial planning and support that can begin from the first day of your work and well into your retirement life.
Principal PRS end-to-end retirement solution has two phases, accumulation and decumulation. The accumulation phase happens during pre-retirement where you accumulate and grow your wealth by investing into a conventional or Islamic Retire Easy Target Date Fund under the end-to-end retirement solution. These funds are designed to age with you by automatically rebalancing your portfolio from growth investment toward more conservative ones as you approach your retirement years. This is how it works. First, add your year of birth to the retirement age and you will get your retirement year. In this example here, you may pick Principal Retire Easy 2040 or Principal Islamic Retire Easy 2040. Once you've chosen your target date fund, you'll be set on a glide path where the fund's asset allocation will automatically and gradually shift from an aggressive mix to a more conservative mix as it approaches your retirement age. The target date fund intends to offer you a simple approach to save for retirement, where you don't have to worry about asset allocation and having to rebalance those investments over time. The target date fund aims to mature on its target date, which matches with your retirement year. This is when your investment will be automatically moved into Principal Retire Easy Income Fund or Principal Islamic Retire Easy Income Fund to begin the decumulation phase. This post-retirement solution seeks to help you plan your investment withdrawals based on your current needs and goals. You can choose to have a partial withdrawal, a lump sum withdrawal, or opt for a regular withdrawal plan. With RWP, you get the flexibility of customizing a recurring withdrawal plan by a fixed withdrawal amount or a fixed number of payments. You also get to customize the frequency of withdrawal by monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. While you enjoy our retirement withdrawals, the remaining fund balances will continue to be invested for potential returns, so you can keep growing your wealth.
Today, Principal Malaysia is serving close to 3 million customers and counting. We intend to help more people potentially save, protect, and have enough. Speak with us today. Let us help you plan for a possibly comfortable retirement.